Hi, my name's Cheese, and welcome to another Fossil Sweeper Progress Update video. If you haven't heard of the project before, you can find an overview here, but the TLDR is it's like Minesweeper, but you're digging up fossils and need to build skeletons out of the stuff that you find. Over the past month or so, I've continued to work on chat integration, and I've found time to tidy up a couple of long-standing miscellaneous issues. With the assembly and dig phases having a functional first pass on chat integration in place, it was the map phase's turn next. I implemented commands for selecting dig sites, selecting skeletons to be tracked in the UI, selecting tracked skeletons to assemble, and for hopping into the research phase and temp museum. Although it's not needed just yet, I implemented controls for rotating the globe to reveal what's on the other side. My plans are to keep some iconography available for dig sites even when they're on the far side of the globe, but looking at and exploring is part of the game, and I think it's more interesting to have chat commands that allow that to happen, especially when playing without a player. While digging around in the map phase, I also fixed some long-standing bugs with travel lines. The large location dot is now properly centered on the screen when visiting a dig site that is at the current location. And I'm now storing the local travel line's path points with the scaling factor removed so that if the window size changes between visits, it will still be rendered at the correct size and location. I've had these hanging out in the back of my to-do list for a very long time, and I'm honestly surprised by how much having them fixed is affecting my impression of the game as a whole. Since I'd added panning commands to the map phase, I went back and added similar commands to the dig and assembly phases for panning the camera around and scrolling the chunk list respectively. I also popped commands into the research phase and temp museum for returning to the map, so that even if those phases don't have chat gameplay, the game as a whole is now traversable. I don't think I want to add chat commands for navigating to the main menu, or pause menu, or settings menu and so on, unless I get players specifically asking for it. I think that stuff is well outside the scope of typical chat interactions. Setting aside the museum and research phases, which I'm thinking of coming back to later, I'm mindful that some commands will need to be treated as votes rather than multiple queued actions, so there's still a little more work to do. For example, selecting the next dig site from the map phase doesn't flow so well if it immediately jumps to the first thing that's chosen, compared to having all chat participants have an opportunity or a window during which they can vote for the next one that will be visited. All up though, I think I've reached a point where chat integration is functional enough to be usable for general gameplay, and that's a good position to be in before seeing the year out. A very big thank you to the supporters going by on screen at the moment. Their support has helped me eat while making this game, and I am so very appreciative. A huge thanks also to Screen Tasmania, who supported this project with a small grant. Anyway, that's about it for today. If you'd like to keep track of development or try the playable prototype, you can find some links in the description. And if you're super keen to check out what we talked about here today, I make early test builds available to my supporters on Patreon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye!